Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Mowbray. I graduated from the University of Maryland, University College with a degree in environmental management, and my capstone project involved developing a macroinvertebrate monitoring plan associated with a stream restoration project in Frederick County, Maryland. And for those of you who don't know, macroinvertebrates are the various types of invertebrates, for example, the caddisfly larva that you see up there on the screen that you could find at the bottom of a stream bed. And what's really interesting about them is they can be used as biological indicators. So depending on the various amounts and types that you find in a stream, you can get an idea of the water quality of that stream. So to provide background on the stream restoration and why a monitoring plan was developed, so the stream restoration site was adjacent to an educational day camp for students of all ages called Bar Team Mountainside. And the camp saw this as an incredible opportunity not only to educate the students, but also possibly collect some data. So the site is already surveyed as part of Maryland Biological Stream Survey, MBSS, through the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. And the camp also thought maybe someday if they could get their students to collect data, maybe in the future it could be compared to MBSS data and get some kind of evaluation of citizen science. So as our capstone sponsor, they tasked me and my team to develop a monitoring plan and start off as a very generic stream monitoring plan. And immediately I knew there would be some challenges there because of the time constraints we were working with. And also the camp themselves, they had a few budgeting constraints. Unknowns. They didn't know how much money they might have for different things. Before I get into the solution to that, that's just a brief look at the site. So in the bottom right-hand corner, that's the camp. And this is the path of the stream. And the yellow shapes you see there are the current MBSS monitoring sites. And then this is where they'd be looking to take their students to sample. So our solution was to narrow the focus and focus entirely making it a macroinvertebrate monitoring plan. And the reason that we decided to do that was because there'd be students of varying ages. They couldn't tell us exactly, what students would be sampling and when, and what age groups, because I think it varies. So we thought that taking macroinvertebrate samples is something that students of varying ages can do, and also while still maintaining close adherence to professional protocols, because we wanted to make sure that we were adhering as closely as possible to MBSS and EPA protocols. So what we did was we developed a monitoring plan that had two protocols that we wrote up for them. The first one was where the sample would be collected by students and they could send that to a lab for professional analysis. And protocol 2 would be the sample is collected by the students, but then also analyzed by the students. And of course, in that case, it would be a different level of detail. It would be, this is a caddisfly, this is a mayfly, which you can still, determine. You use that to help determine water quality, but it wouldn't be at the same level as a professional taxonomist. But the reason that we did that was because we wanted to give them that flexibility. They didn't know what their budgets was going to be every year. So we also threw in some quality control and record keeping recommendations for the day camp, and we also I also developed a very simple data table in Excel that, if they're using protocol 2, the students could come back with their field sheets, input the data, and save it for perhaps some future analysis. And so we delivered that for them in a professional template, and the conclusions were that the camp was very happy with the final product. They said that they could perhaps use the monitoring plan to help get some grant money someday and help further this effort. I thought it was a very successful application. The master's degree program, the UMUC Environmental Management Program, is meant to promote leadership skills in the environmental field. I was able to take what I learned and take charge of this project. And ultimately, we all agreed that if this effort in some way, regardless of what they do in the future with the data the students collect, if the students can use this monitoring plan and learn about water quality and learn about how a stream restoration project can improve water quality and just have it be an educational experience, and it's ultimately a success. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Andrew?
I do.
Sure.
Could you tell me what your slide title said? I've seen it twice. Benthic?
Oh, benthic macroinvertebrate. The benthic, I believe, is like a bottom dwelling, so
Okay.
stream.
I couldn't see
Yeah, no worries.
Any other questions?
Could you explain your title slide, like, does
Oh.
it live like that?
Sure, just, you mean the caddisfly larva on there?
Or yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but they basically, the larva produces a silk that then they can use to take objects in their environment. Different species of caddisfly, from what I understand, can use different materials to build themselves a little house that they can go into. If you saw one, it's one of those things you wouldn't know it was there probably until you saw it, or until you knew it was there. Then you might start noticing them. But people can actually have taken these larvae, given them jewelry and gold and things like that, and they'll build a house out of it, and they can make necklaces and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much.